I know we don't really do this intro much anymore, but it's a new season, so I figured why not. Also, I took a few shots of tequila before this because my 3-year anniversary is tomorrow, so go ahead and ignore it if I mumble a word or two, or if you catch me stumbling on my words, just comment congratulations. It'll be between us. Anyway, can we talk about this? I do not trust this champ. League of Legends is full of so many strange champion designs. There's the Freljordian demigods, which are basically furries. There's the Vestians, which are also basically furries, except this time they were designed by Louis Vuitton. And then of course there's the Shirimans, which is an ancient desert city full of normal people that can sometimes ascend. And when they do ascend, they become, well, basically furries, except this time they were designed by an addict at the back of a target. There's Demacia, there's Noxus, there's the Tube that Zack came from, and so many other wonderful locations on Runeterra. But for the last decade, there was always one faction that we didn't really know much about, and for good reason. Because this location was a black hole, a literal depth of hell where you would be killed just for looking in the wrong direction. No, okay, I'm not talking about Zon, but let's be honest, I can see why you would think that. That place sucks too. I'm talking about the Void. Maybe add like reverb on when I said void, make it epic or something. AKA the place of anti-reality that spawned such lovable, not problematic champions like Kha'Zix, Kog'Maw, Kai'Sa, Kassadin, Rek'Sai, and a lot more. I'm starting to feel like the Void is secretly just a speakeasy full of moonshine, because most of these champions can take you out in just one shot. But besides feeling an overwhelming sense of dread whenever a new Void champion was announced, there really wasn't anything more beside it. I mean, sure, their designs were cool, but there was never really any hype because they were just RNG demons who spawned out of nowhere to ruin your day. And let's be honest, for most people, the Void champion designs kind of felt like they were written by a kid in the 2nd grade. Oh, this one? This one, he has a big mouth and he likes to eat things. Oh, and this one? Well, this one's kind of like he's kind of a bug, but he likes to eat things. Oh, and this one? This one is it's a man that I saw at Walmart, except he's floating. Which is why, and I'm gonna need you to sit down for this, Bel'Veth should be the most exciting champion release of the last 5 years. Not only did she get her own cinematic featuring our favorite KDA baddie Kai'Sa, but we also got to get one of our first ever glimpses into the Void. And personally speaking, I think that her design is awesome. Having a fake face over her real face so that when you guys face off, you face the wrong face. Which is a cool choice because A, she's a fish, and some fish do that, and she has a human face because voidlings are known to. Kha'Zix, take it from here.
Consume and adapt.
And B, she's fine as hell. So Riot can bait you into thinking that she's a hot champion, and then once you get in game, she's hotter. But even with this cool design, awesome trailer, and insanely potent lore around her, Riot just never let Bel'Veth be who she's supposed to be. I mean it when I say that Bel'Veth is the most disjointed champion design in all of Riot's history. It's like the Void team and the gameplay team were beefing it that day, so they didn't communicate at all while making this champion. Even though I genuinely think that Bel'Veth's in-game design is a horrible representation of who she's supposed to be, I mean it when I say that Bel'Veth can be the most fun champion in all of League of Legends. Can be. Remember that. She's a stacking jungler that scales by farming, has the highest possible attack speed in the game, and is so mobile that your iPhone is gonna need to find a new day job. Did I mention that she stacks? Because she stacks. Meaning, I no longer have to force Nasus to go into the jungle. I'm so happy a boy could cry. Alright, that's good. Bel'Veth's passive is my new favorite ability in League of Legends. Bel'Veth attacks faster than normal champions, but her attack speed cap is modified to 90. All sources of damage, including on-hit effects triggered by her basic attacks, are reduced to 75%, meaning that her hits are less hard than most, but a lot more frequent. Like a swarm of bees versus a wasp, or like Lil Nas X. Kind of a thinker's joke. Doesn't hit as hard as everyone, but he makes a lot of hits. That's the joke. I hope it comes off that way. Every time she uses an ability, Bel'Veth gets 2 stacks on her resource bar, which gives her attack speed for the next 2 autos. And she can stack it, so feel free to just face roll all over your keyboard and get 6 free stacks of fast hands. But Scooch, that's just reduced damage and a better version of Lee Sin's passive. How is this your favorite ability? Well, I'm glad you asked, because baby, I'm not finished yet. When Bel'Veth scores a takedown against a champion or monster within 3 seconds of damaging them, she generates a permanent stack of lavender. Large monsters give 1 stack, large minions give 1 stack, and champions/epic monsters grant 2 stacks. What do these stacks do, you might ask? That's easy. They grant her permanent attack speed for the rest of the game. And since her stacking is practically infinite, since you'll never hit the cap in a real game of League of Legends, she will almost always take over the game if given enough time. Meaning that the only thing scarier than seeing a Bel'Veth in your game is not seeing the Bel'Veth that is in your game. Bel'Veth is a lot like debt. You should do your best to take care of her early, but if you don't, she will take your sofa, wife, and kids. Because Bel'Veth has to stack. And all it takes to ruin her ability to become a real champion is to take her camps. With friends, this is kind of easy to circumvent, because they'll just rotate and beat people up if you're ever getting counter jungled. However, in solo queue, if the enemy Lee Sin wants to bully you and take your camps, he's probably going to get away with it, because alongside your teammates, Lee Sin will be the 5th blind person in your game. In fact, while recording footage for this video, I've had more solo queue teammates take my camps than help me take them. I've also learned a couple of new words from my solo queue teammates. Words that I cannot repeat unless I want my monetization running for the hills like the first time a cow sees grass. Which is why I have to emphasize that you must play this champion with friends, lest ye want to be a melee minion 30 minutes into the game. Because as it stands, Bel'Veth is the easiest champion to grief in all of League of Legends. I mean it. If your Bel'Veth is an asshole, just take her camps. Don't. Bel'Veth's Q is 4 dashes. I actually wrote a punchline for this joke, so let me try it out. Bel'Veth's Q is 4 dashes. Riot is really making my job easy. Each dash has to come from a certain direction and has its own unique cooldown that is reduced by attack speed. They also apply on hit and can crit because why not? Champions can't be simple anymore. These dashes not only make Bel'Veth insanely mobile, but it gives her a phenomenal wave clear when she starts to develop more damage. It makes her clear time insanely fast, and most importantly, when you unlock Bel'Veth Biggie mode, it also lets her go through walls. But we're gonna get to Bel'Veth Biggie mode a little bit later. Bel'Veth's W is very powerful, but it's not as powerful as the W that you will feel in your heart once you subscribe to the channel. Nice. Subscribing really helps the channel out, and we've been working on a lot of really cool stuff behind the scenes that I cannot wait to show you. So stay tuned and be sure to ring the bell for all notifications so that you don't miss bangers like this one. Plus, our percentage of people who rang the bell is kind of low, so let's try to change it. Please. When we hit 400,000 subscribers, I, myself, am going to cosplay Bel'Veth. And I will show this bastard of an Earth how real terror can be.
I'm over here stroking my dick.
So sub to the channel, ding the belly bell, and I'll start painting myself purple tomorrow. Deal? Bel'Veth's W is an AoE knockup that also slows targets. This is kind of the most surprising ability in her kit, because she's supposed to be like this skirmishing assassin, but holy shit, they gave her an AoE hard CC. This allows Bel'Veth to actually do something when she ganks, unlike most late scaling junglers who have to awkwardly let you make the first move like a Sadie Hawkins dance. Not to mention that if Bel'Veth can scale this game, this knockup is just enough time for her to fruit ninja your ass like an episode of Samurai Champloo. Oh! And let's not forget how sticky she is, so even if you come in peace, Bel'Veth will make sure that you leave in pieces. Bel'Veth's E is the most Season 12 thing I've ever heard in my life. In fact, I can't imagine another Hold on, sorry, I gotta answer this. Hello? Yeah. So you're saying I'm wrong? Who the fuck is Nyla? Bel'Veth's E is to channel for 1.5 seconds and Muda the shit out of the nearest enemy with the lowest current health percentage. Not only does this attack get faster with her infinite attack speed scaling, which ends up making the ability deal more damage, but it also, let me clear my throat for this, deals on-hit damage, deals increased damage the lower the enemy is, gets an insane amount of lifesteal, and grants her 70% damage reduction, meaning that she is dealing damage on top of on-hit damage, on top of execute damage, on top of healing herself, on top of reducing your damage, giving you 4 entire reasons to walk away. Oh, you need a 5th? Well, it looks scary as shit. They should really rename this move into NFT, because trying to fight her while she does it is a nice fucking try, and also, it's a bad time to invest. Not trying to sound like your guidance counselor in middle school, but if you're ever walking down the street and you see a Bel'Veth stance up like that,
Why won't you die?
walk away. Trust me. You're not that guy, pal. Bel'Veth's ultimate is quite literally one of the most confusing moves in all of League of Legends. And I don't just mean that because it's the longest ability description in the entire game. I just mean that it almost makes no fucking sense. And since I pride myself on being at least a little bit informative in these episodes, let's at least try to read it.
Damn, boy.
God damn. Passively, every second attack on the same target makes her deal added true damage, stacking infinitely until she strikes a new target, or leaves combat. This has a cap on monsters, but when it comes to fighting champions, the longer that they're in a fight with Bel'Veth, the harder she will punch their asses clean off. And since she's dealing all sorts of damage and healing in the later stages of the game, even if you're a tank, it'll only take a few seconds to be left cheekless. However, we're not even close to done. Once Bel'Veth has a point in her ult, takedowns on enemy champions or epic monsters will leave behind a piece of Void Coral. Actively, Bel'Veth's ultimate is to eat the Void Coral, instantly dashing to it and creating an explosion around its location that deals true damage, slows enemies, and also heals her. After eating the coral, Bel'Veth will become Biggie mode for 60 seconds, gaining bonus health, out of combat move speed, attack range, and total attack speed. Oh, and she could also now dash over walls, which is kind of sick. You may think I'm done, but believe it or not, there's more. So I'm gonna give you a few seconds to get out of your chair and stretch, maybe grab a bottle of water or something, and then refocus, because we gotta keep going. Yeah, I know it's a complicated ability, all right? Fucking Nasus has lifesteal as his passive. When Bel'Veth kills a Void epic monster, aka Baron or Herald, she gets not 1, but 2 extra bonuses. Number 1, Biggie mode will now last a staggering 3 minutes. And number 2, when minions die next to Bel'Veth, they will now become Void Chihuahuas. Go for it, my fuckers! Get them! Unless you're using the arcade skin, then they become the meaning that giving Bel'Veth either a Herald or a Baron will give her the ability to push you harder than an ex-wife. This ultimate is so off-putting and weird for me, because she can only use it after a champion or an epic monster dies. So unless she's skirmishing, this is always going to be a grayed out ability. I'm not saying that it's weak by like any means, but why does Viego get a knock-up displacement flash, the ability to possess others, and a better untargetable version of this, whereas Bel'Veth just eats coral? To me, it just seems to be a lot more fitting as a passive. I mean, think about it. This is supposed to be the purple Dio's finishing move. Can you imagine being in an anime fight scene, getting punched in the chest 500 times in 5 seconds, and then the enemy going, "It's time for my finishing move," and he pulls out a bento box and just starts busting down? It's not right. What's even crazier is that in her whole kit, creating voidlings and becoming a giant monster are the only things that make sense thematically, while her other half is just Lavender Lil Mac. And why did they call him Lavender Stacks anyway? Is it because she's gonna put your ass to sleep? That one's kind of funny. But even though Bel'Veth is a disjointed ball of ideas, I'd like to see you attack me in my army of sperm!
Hey, yo!
She can definitely be the most fun champion in League of Legends. Punching feels fantastic. She can slice and dice so fast that she'll turn Renekton into a pair of Crocs. And the list just goes on and on. So whether you want to strike fast, dash, eat ass, I messed that up, eat grass or beat ass, Bel'Veth is a fantastic champion to play. But remember, all it takes is a few greedy thieves to make your dreams of becoming a monster null and void. In short, Bel'Veth will always either carry a team to victory or be the sole reason that they are dragged down the ladder. So always keep an eye on her, because within 10 minutes, you'll know for whom the bell trolls. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Can We Talk About This? If there's something else you want to talk about, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get to it. Guys, I'm glad to be back to this show. I know a lot of you guys like this show, but I had to take a break. I mean, this script alone was 3,000 words, so it takes a lot out of me, and that's why I wasn't able to stream a lot this week. But I did want to announce that we're doing a lot of fun stuff on stream recently, including the Theory Crafting League, where I get 2 separate teams of viewers to go against each other, and I tell them a build that they have to build before the match starts, and then they talk, they choose their teams, and we just see which team is the better Theory Crafter. And stuff like that happens. In fact, it is happening on my channel right now, so head on over to twitch.tv/Scooch and watch the action live. Anyways, that's all I want to say. I love you. Subscribe if you haven't, and please ring the bell, because that helps the channel a ton. Click a video that's on the screen, or head on over to the stream and say hello. I am just killing time now. I'm gonna get out of here.